Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk about functions and using variables inside of them. So at the beginning, I told you guys that a function is when you use these parentheses and you have to define them using this syntax. Now, you don't have to have anything inside of the parentheses. In other words, you can leave that empty, but you must have the parentheses, okay? That means it's space to place an argument, but there's actually no arguments. I don't want you to use any arguments. Now the problem with this right here, if I run it, it'll tell us that the x is not defined. Okay, so let's say I define the variable x as 5. So then it will actually say, okay, x is 5, run the function, and then print the result. So it's going to come up here, plug in 5 for x, 5 plus 10 is 15, y is equal to 15, return y. Okay, there it is. Okay, everything's working just fine. Well, the problem with this, well, it's not a problem, but if I wanted to make it a little bit cleaner, I could basically remove this place here and put x inside of here. Okay, so instead of defining x as 5, I could actually say x is going to be defined when I call the function. That's what that does. So the function can't be run without the value of x, and that's what it's actually saying. No value for argument x in the function to call. So let's go ahead and plug in the 5 and get the same result. There it works. And that's the first way of getting used to using variables. Well, that's great. That's awesome, actually. It makes my life a lot easier. So now I could do this very quickly, just change this, and then I could run this over and over again. And what's even cooler, if I wanted to, I could do for x in range. You can use this within a loop, and I could do like from 0 to 9. And I could just do print f of x. Hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, I changed the name. I had f of x, but I'm using functions. So this has to be function of x. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to happen here. If you're not familiar with a for loop, what a for loop does is it starts at the 0 and iterates until you get to 10 numbers. Okay, so that's actually going to go 0 through 9, since that'll be 10 digits. So it'll start with x equals 0, and so it'll be 0 plus 10, so we'll get the return value of 10. So let's go ahead and try that. So we get 10, 11, 12, 9, all the way through. Alright, so this, by the way, is just saying it's redefining name x from outer scope in line 10. What that means is that we're just going to keep renaming x as we go through this function. No big deal. But what's cool about this is that we can, look at this, 2 lines of code, we can run this program at 10. And now if I wanted to, I could get and run it 100 times. See? All the way up to 100. Now it would actually go up to 99 because again we're starting at, you can't see that. Oh no. Well, I can't change the window of the recording, but trust me, it goes to 109. I just realized a flaw. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, I had to readjust my window so it would fit inside the recording window. So now you can see that the last one is 109. Anyways, that's not the point of the video, but it does nice to learn that. So what's cool about this is that I, again, ran the function multiple times without having to type it. So you might have been even wondering, is it really that much quicker, and do I really need to make a video on why it's better to use a variable inside? And the answer here is yes, because I don't want to type it. I want to just run a function and have the function do it many times as I want to. So I can just keep calling this function. Okay, so now that we understand that using a variable as a parameter inside of our function is better, let's talk about using it with multiple variables. So let's just call this with name, okay? Okay, so let's just say I had a name here. And I'm going to say name is going to be equal to, we'll let the user type in their name. So what is your name? Okay, and then we're going to run the function of, oh, that's not right, of, we'll do 10 and whatever name gets inputted into the system. Okay, now inside of here I'm going to actually have a print statement. I'm going to have print hello, and then plus name. I didn't take some. The function or the result of x plus 10 is plus, then we'll just print the output, the string of whatever y was. Okay, and I don't actually need this statement anymore because I don't need to return anything since we're going to have the function just cover everything for us. So we'll go Alan. He goes, hello Alan, the result of x plus 10 is 20. Okay, so now what if I didn't want to use x here? What if I actually wanted to use the actual x that gets plugged in here? Well, that's easy enough. First of all, just close your string and then put str for whatever the value of x is, and then open back up your string, and don't forget to have these little spaces. So I leave a space between the of, that way when actually I'll take it out first so you can see why. So now I'm going to have this, let's change this to 15 and see if the program works. Oh no. Alright, string of x is 15. Let's see what it says. Line 7, invalid syntax. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, just missing a plus sign here. Okay, so you can change the name, and then you can say, okay, well, I've got to change that. So this is what I was saying. So that's why this space is here. So I don't know why I'm coming up with these names. I'm just saying anything to show you that you could type anything. Hello, Gilbert. The result of 15 plus 10 is 25. So what's really cool about that is I can use multiple variables, right? And actually have the variables come into play in the same function. So awesome. So that's one way that you can use more than one variable. And by the way, you can have infinite number of variables. So you can have 3, 4, 5, as many as you want. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Hope that makes sense. So you can have a function with multiple variables.